They were criticised for their performance against Newcastle, but Manchester United responded against Burnley, scoring 3 first-half goals to win 3-1 and move into the top 6. Well, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's departure, United's form has improved in their last 6 games under both Michael Carrick and Rangnick. They've got 14 points, 10 more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got in his last 6 games, although he did face Liverpool and Manchester City in those matches. After their draw to Newcastle, Rangnick spoke to the players about the importance of body language, and Rangnick explained why his players' attitude is so important.
In team sports, it's always important that you are convinced about what you're doing. And of course, at Newcastle, it was a difficult game for us. We were 1-0 down after 7 minutes. And they did well. We didn't play well, especially in the first half at Newcastle, and therefore it's the reaction to what's happening on the pitch is the question. How do we react to this? Do we fight back? Do we show them that we are still a team, that we believe in us, or do we shake heads or do this and that? This kind of things only help the other team, and it does damage to our own team. And therefore, for me, it was clear to tell them, listen, it's important that we behave and work as a team and that we don't show these kind of side effects on the pitch.
You see, body language makes a hell of a difference, doesn't it? Look, like that. And then suddenly, you know, it does make a difference, doesn't it? Warren, after that disappointing display against Newcastle, how much was that first half needed by Ralf Rangnick and the side?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It needed to be a real Manchester United first 45 minutes, play on the front foot. Rangnick, when I've watched a lot of his teams and how he coached, particularly in Germany in the Bundesliga with Leipzig, he wants his players to be positive. He wants his wide players to take people on. And this, 4-2-2 system that he tries to implement as well, although they're midfield players, he likes them to get wide and express themselves. So there was a vast improvement. I like to think also the Newcastle game was about Newcastle, the way that they played. It was probably their best game of the season. The atmosphere was phenomenal at St James's Park. The players thrived under that, and United found it very uncomfortable. But they got back to winning ways, and it just shows you how important Ronaldo is, even at his age. 14 goals this season, 3 assists, and he's played 20 games. He's still a vital part of this team. Yes, he's older in age, but he's a model professional. It's the other players you look around, the Rashfords and Bruno Fernandes, where their body language is poor, their effort, their desire is not being really wanted how you would like it to be for Manchester United. But it was a much-needed performance, and obviously, Burnley had a few injuries, and the COVID situation didn't help that. But the first 45 minutes was very, very good. It's a nice little present for Sir Alex Ferguson, and we wish him happy birthday as well.
Yeah, and don't worry, Warren, we will get on to talk about Newcastle a little bit later. Don't worry. Siobhan, we have talked a lot about body language since that Newcastle game. That phrase, whinge bags, wonderful. What a wonderful word whinge bag is. It has been used a lot. Rangnick said he spoke to his players about it. So for you, why is body language so important? Was it something you thought about when you were playing?
I think whinge bags is a word that I could start using with my 1-year-old at the moment. She's definitely a whinge bag. But in terms of the importance of it's key because as Rangnick said, it's about reaction. It's about what your opponents see from you, what your teammates see from you. It's not just about you yourself and the information, the reaction that you're giving to your manager and your response from events that are happening on the pitch. It's if you're looking at it as the opposition, then, we've got in their heads now. Look, they're rattled. We've got them. We can get at them. You can increase your intensity. Whereas if you've got good, positive body language, you can keep going. You can keep that momentum going, and it helps. And it shows that you're not bothered by anything else that's going on. You're worried about what you can control, and you're controlling the tempo, the momentum of the game. Even when something goes against you, it's like, it doesn't matter. The next thing is next. Let's keep going with what we can control and give good reactions.
I think also, Rob, as well, Gary Neville talking about whinging. He was the biggest whinger I ever played against for 10 years. He never stopped moaning. So how can he talk about being a whinge bag? But you're right, body language. I look at like Martial when he plays for Manchester United. He doesn't look like he actually enjoys it and thrives playing for Manchester United. It's like a burden playing for them. And I think that comes across to the fans. And that's where the the voice of disapproval comes from the fans, the frustration from the fans. But when you see any player, and at whatever level you play, whether I played non-league or in the Premier League, as long as you're trying and giving the effort, the fans will respect that. It's when it's like the hands are in the air, people are walking around, and that's what we're talking about body language. Everybody wants to go out there and play well, but it's not always going to be a perfect game for you. And that's where you get the likes of a Ronaldo that's pushing people on. When I see him running back, trying to trace and work, that's a sign for someone like Rashford. If he's doing it, I should be doing it. And that you only go by your senior players. But I thought I'd mention that about Gary Neville, because he was the biggest whinge I ever met. It's only when Roy Keane told him to shut up, he would be quiet.
Morning, Mr. Neville. Siobhan, there were changes, as you'd expect, over this period. Edinson, Cavani in the starting lineup after his goal against Newcastle. Do you like that idea of that combination with Ronaldo?
I do. I love seeing Cavani and Ronaldo playing up front together. I really enjoy watching Cavani play. He's a fantastic centre-forward. Yes, they're both getting a little bit older, so can you get 90 minutes out of the pair of them week in, week out? Probably not. But if you've got the two of them up there and then the legs and the energy behind them, producing the goods for them, then why not? I love watching them play together, and I'm really pleased to see Cavani back out on the pitch, and especially alongside Ronaldo. It's an exciting front two from my liking.
Yeah, and I guess there's been much frustration from Cavani, I would think, because he'd be desperate to get out there, Warren. And frustration as well, I think, for Jadon Sancho, because his skill, his expertise, what he does with the football is well known. He played on the left yesterday, instrumental in that second goal, which sadly for him went down as an own goal. What will we see from him in 2022 as a Manchester United player? Will we see him at the level that we know he is capable of?
I'd like to think so, Rob. I watched him at Dortmund for a number of years, and he was head and shoulders above a lot of the players in that league. And Sancho's at his best when he's taking people on. And he's a player that needed confidence. And sometimes the move as a player and the money, you've seen Grealish at Manchester City, that can affect a player for a number of times to feel comfortable playing for that club, feel comfortable playing in that environment. Experience the expectation every single week that you're playing for a club like Manchester United, week in, week out, where you're going to have to bring out the goods and show the fans how good you are. We've seen glimpses to be more consistent. I think the biggest thing with Jordan is just to focus on his job. Don't worry about anything outside the game. Don't worry about what's going on social media or whatever it may be. Just focus on the game, be how good you are, because I think he's a phenomenal talent. I think he's got all the tools to be a top-class player. It just needs to be consistent. And I think, obviously, picking the brain of someone like Ronaldo, Edinson, Cavani, just ask them things, be a sponge, take advice off of them players, and then go out and perform. And Rangnick will be a player. As I said, he likes his wide players. Although they play this system, it does turn into be a 4-4-2. When he's wide, the first thought he should be is to take someone, not to come back and keep it safe. Get the ball and take someone. Even if you take someone back 10, 15 yards, and then you want to come back in. I'd like to see him do more, but I'm a big fan of his, and I think he will take the new year by storm and be a big part for Manchester United, not only for this season, but going forward as well. I just think he needs to focus on his job, be hungry again, be determined, and he's a good kid, and I'm sure he'll have a great career at United.